Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Friday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini. Welcome back, everyone. Wrapping up the week here in what turned out to be a pretty chaotic week. O'Neal Cruz does well in the home run derby. Paul Skeens lights out in the All-Star game. And then the big one yesterday, TJ Watt signing a 3-year extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers. More details on that we will kick off the show with here today. We will also today talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates back in action tonight. First pitch in roughly an hour and 10 minutes. They kick off the second half of the season. Trying to remember, I think it's Bailey Falter on the mound tonight for the Bucks. And then we will also get into some Pittsburgh Penguins talk as well, possible trades that they could make, and any more news stories that we happen to come across along the way. First thing is first, if you're new here to the channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, feel free to like and share this video, as well as subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. I can pop those up on screen at a moment's notice. Any thoughts, opinions, questions that you may have, we can interact that way. Like I said, today we are going to kick off once again with the biggest news of not just this week, but maybe the entire offseason for the Pittsburgh Steelers. TJ Watt yesterday signing a 3-year contract extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The official post here from Adam Schefter. Right here it is on your screen, his official post from yesterday. ESPN sources, Steelers star TJ Watt has become the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history for the second time in his illustrious career, reaching an agreement on a 3-year, $123 million extension, $108 million guaranteed. Comes out to $41 million per year, just a $1 million per year average more than Myles Garrett. The deal was in the works for months between CAA Sports and the Steelers. Going to come out and say that I like this deal a whole lot. By the way, Watt, like it said there, the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Not only that, he is only behind 5 quarterbacks in the NFL in terms of average per year salary, behind, of course, Dak Prescott from the Dallas Cowboys, who is well in the lead at $50.5 million per year. Below Prescott here, and these guys just ahead of Watt, Matthew Stafford at 47.5, Joe Burrow at 46, Lamar Jackson at 43.5, and Kyler Murray at 43.4. So TJ Watt amongst the most profitable and most popular names in the NFL, making money equal to them as well. The full details of his contract were revealed this morning. This here from Spotrac. They do phenomenal work here, breaking down the contracts of not just NFL players, but contracts across all sports. Watt's deal, a 3-year, $123 million extension. $44 million of this deal will be this season in 2025. $76 million through the 2026 season and on. It's practically a 3-year deal worth $108 million, fully guaranteed. His cap hits over the next 4 seasons. This upcoming season, $23.3 million. That saves $7.05 million against the cap. By the way, after this signing yesterday, the Steelers still in pretty good shape. I don't get why people are so critical of giving Watt all that money. It's not like we're paying a quarterback, monster money, or that we are going to for the foreseeable future. Even if we draft a quarterback next year, the Steelers still right now, $25.3 million in cap space. They actually saved money signing TJ to this extension. I guess that's where kind of Jerry Dulac from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, he reported this as a 4-year deal, kind of just, laying over this upcoming year's salary for Watt into the extension. But back to the cap hits here. 2025, a $23.3 million cap hit for Watt, $42 million in 2026 and 2027. And then assuming that he will get to this point and the Steelers, don't rework his contract at all or cut him in 2028, he will receive his biggest cap hit yet, $46.05 million. Really, we shouldn't be shocked whatsoever that this deal happened yesterday. Watt was working out with Nick Herbig, presumably up in Wisconsin. And if you see the pictures, Watt grinning ear to ear. Originally, yesterday, I was going to speculate if TJ was going to sign or not, but turns out that smile was him making generations worth of money. And this deal now, ladies and gentlemen, first off on Watt, I want to say I like it for lots of reasons. People out there, I think Steelers Nation, they're kind of, happy that it's done, of course, and happy that TJ is going to be a one-helmet guy for his career. But I think a lot of people are cringing at the money here. Let's just say this. Is TJ Watt better than Myles Garrett? Absolutely. Does that mean he then deserves to make more than Myles Garrett? Absolutely. Just looking here at Watt, even at age 30, since he came into the league, he's first in sacks, tackles, tackles for loss, stuff like that. And last year, I don't know what the worst year of Myles Garrett career was, but last year I think we can say was probably the worst year of TJ Watt's career. And I know that sounds, pretty rough, saying that with him just getting this extension, but 12 sacks, best for seventh in the entire NFL, I think, and 6 forced fumbles as well, first in the NFL. If that's the worst you're going to get out of Watt, then he's going to be worth that money quite a bit. His worst season is probably the best season for 95% of edge rushers out there. Just looking at some other career stats here for TJ. If I can find him, just here, look at these honors here. You'll see why he's worth the money. Pro Bowl selection in 2018, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23. 4-time first team All-Pro, Defensive Player of the Year in 2021. Really should have 2 or 3 of those DPOYs. Just great all the way around, and paying him that money. It's not like we're breaking the bank here. He gets what he wants in the end, gets more than Myles Garrett, gets a lot of guarantees. And on the Steelers side of it, they only have this deal at 3 years, so it's not like they're committing to him too far into the future. They saved money off of this deal, and they're going to have still a ton of cap space next offseason. Watt here with the Steelers without Watt, you want to get rid of TJ or not pay him this money with TJ in the lineup. Steelers are 79, 40-2 without him. They're 1-10. I think that's worth giving Watt, an extension here. And like I said, it's not like we, the people here, are, giving TJ all this money straight from our wallets to his pocket here. It's a good deal. Steelers 3-year deal. If you're gonna win with TJ, then you might as well keep him around, because clearly this team does not win without him. And in this all-in season, for this year, and also to give the quarterback that the Steelers draft next season the best possible situation that he can come into, you're going to want TJ Watt leading the charge on defense. Now, does he need to be better this upcoming year? Absolutely. Disappeared at certain spots last year. Injury troubles. We saw him and his brother have injury-riddled seasons, or his brother JJ had injury-riddled seasons when he was near the end of his career. Can TJ avoid that same fate? Hopefully. But like I said, 3-year deal. He gets what he wants. Steelers get what they want. They get a hell of a football player for 3 years, and you don't break the bank long-term to do it. And honestly, for people complaining, this is the perfect time to do it. Like I said, quarterback, you're not putting too much money into that. $10 million for Aaron Rodgers, a bargain in this league. And after him, you're most likely going to have a rookie quarterback. So, you can afford to give Watt this money and make sure he doesn't go anywhere else and keep that solid defense stacked with Watt, Hayward, Highsmith, Ramsey, Darius Slay, Joey Porter, Patrick Queen, all that good stuff. So that's my final say on it. Great job by Omar Khan. By the way, Khan, finishing probably the best offseason that you will see the Steelers have in our lifetime, at least on paper. Extending TJ, he extended Deshaun Elliott, traded for DK Metcalf, Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, gave all three of those guys a payday raise on top of it, especially Metcalf, who I think along with TJ in one offseason, the Steelers gave out the two largest contracts that they ever have. Signed Aaron Rodgers in his final year where he's going to be all in and looking to go out on top. Darius Slay, who is underrated on the Eagles last year. And on top of it all, they absolutely hit a home run on the draft. Derek Harmon, Caleb Johnson, Jack Sawyer. Hopefully Will Howard can develop into something under Aaron Rodgers' tutelage. And the Steelers making all of these moves did not give up any of their draft capital in next year's loaded quarterback draft. As a matter of fact, they are scheduled to get more draft picks on top of it, at least 1 third-round compensatory pick on top of others that could, after this upcoming season, be worth a whole lot more. So good job there by Omar Khan. Really the only confusing situation about Watt's extension is George Pickens' comment, said, put like a couple fire emojis, couple goat emojis when Watt's deal was made official. Let us not forget that when Minkah Fitzpatrick was traded a couple of weeks ago, Pickens said that the Steelers are the cheapest organization, ain't no stacking year after year, and that they let everyone go too soon, or let them go as soon as it's time to pay them. Doesn't really seem like it there, George. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on the TJ extension. I like it. What say you? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, all the Steelers have to do now, as we are less than a week away from Latrobe, excited about that. Really wondering, what do we look forward to now? Steelers could add a third another wide receiver. A couple names being mentioned out there right now. Could they go out and get an extra safety? Maybe. You got Deshaun Elliott and Juan Thornhill right now. Who's behind them? I don't know. Maybe they add a safety here at some point in training camp. And, now we just wait here. Watt will show up. We'll see how things look. How does Aaron Rodgers look, finally doing team drills? How does the defense on the back end look? Where does Ramsey play? Is he going to be in the slot most times, back deep as a safety, outside corner? We'll figure that out. See how Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson look fighting over the current vacant wide receiver 2 spot. See a bunch of the rookies. Derek Harmon, I'm excited to see how will Will Howard spin it in the preseason. All of that to look forward to. And we can all put away the distraction of TJ Watt because that deal is done. Now we get to clean slate. Let's be surprised by what all goes on here in training camp. Going to continue along here today, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be an abbreviated stream, maybe, barring some massive news. The Pittsburgh Pirates, tonight, they return to action. And real quick here, going to pop up the starting lineup here for this evening. Game 1 of a 3-game set against probably one of the lowliest teams in the entire MLB. Pirates down there amongst them. The Chicago White Sox, game 1 of a 3-game series. First game back from the All-Star break. Hopefully, I expect this game to get underway on time. 6:40 is scheduled first pitch. There was the tarp on just a couple of hours ago for the rain that rolled through western Pennsylvania. So I assume they are going to get underway in time here tonight. Lineup right there. Tommy Pham batting leadoff in left field. Andrew McCutchen DH. Brian Reynolds in right field. Nick Gonzalez at second base. O'Neal Cruz in center field, batting fifth. Joey Bart catching. Spencer Horwitz, after, being up here around the 4 or 5 spot in the lineup, he now has been knocked down to number 7th. He's playing first base. Key Brian Hayes at third. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at shortstop. I say about 3, maybe 4 trade candidates before the July 31st trade deadline. They are in the lineup here tonight. Bailey Falter on the bump, looking to continue the little bit of success that he has had this season. Pirates also, by the way, they just made a roster move here 2 hours ago. Liover Peguero, Peggy's back. Will he finally get, a shot in the big leagues with Ben Cherington, an extended look? Who the hell knows? Probably not. But this is, I'm going to assume, the corresponding move to Adam Frazier getting traded a couple of days ago. So Peggy back up into big leagues. Additionally, Johan Oviedo, he takes another small step, but a step nonetheless, towards returning to the big leagues. His rehab assignment coming back from Tommy John surgery. He is now going from low A Bradenton with the Marauders to double A Altoona. So Ovi on the way back as well. Peguero back in the big leagues. Probably, if I had to guess, until someone else gets traded or someone else gets called up. Do not expect to see much from Peguero. For some reason, after looking once upon a time like a decent prospect for this organization, he's just, for some reason, is not being given a chance whatsoever by this organization. I think he's, is he still 23, 24 years old? Peguero is. Let me look up his profile here real quick. Peguero, he is 24 years old. Turns 25 on December 31st, so right before the new year. Yeah, he's 24 right now, so still young. Made his debut when he was 21. He's had 9 at-bats this year, so this is his second call-up. He's had 2 hits in 9 at-bats. Yeah, I mean, give him a shot. What's there to lose? This season is a complete and total wash, so can we at least give Peggy a shot finally once? So, who knows? Moving on here, ladies and gentlemen, one more story before we get to the more Pittsburgh sports news segment of the program. The Pittsburgh Penguins, still though, they are pretty center stage in the hockey world right now. A bit of a slow moving offseason. All of a sudden, free agency was, it really wasn't any good for any single team. So now the trade market, that's where most eyes are. And the Penguins, they're at the forefront of that. 3 good players, Brian Rust, Rickard Rakell, Erik Karlsson, headlining what they have to offer. And teams have been calling. Frank Saravalli, just yesterday on the Bleacher Report, said that Kyle Dubas, he is still getting calls on those 3 players, but the asking price is, quote, a ton for both Brian Rust and Rickard Rakell. He is still, Dubas is taking or asking for a lot for Erik Karlsson on the basis that he is going to retain. How much money he is going to retain on Erik Karlsson's $10 million per year contract, we will wait and see. But I think this is still, evident, a waiting game that Dubas is playing here, and I like it. Keep the prices high as long as you can here, because Rust, Rakell, those 2 guys off of the years they're coming off of, they could easily fetch you a first-round pick, and you can take all the first-round picks you can get at this stage in the rebuild, and with a generational talent waiting for you going first overall next year. However, could the Penguins make a trade here sooner rather than later? I'd like to think so, because 2 teams, they have young guys to offer. Maybe the Penguins could take a stab at them. I said this one yesterday. In division, Columbus Blue Jackets, they have a young winger, 24-year-old Yegor Chinakov. He has asked for a trade after a sort of a minimalistic season for him last year. Didn't play that much. I think he played 13 total games. and he would like to get traded. He's in the last year of a 2-year, 2.1, I believe, $1 million per year contract. From what once upon a time, he was a highly touted prospect coming out of Russia. Maybe a change of scenery would be good for him. Could that be the Penguins? I don't know what the Penguins, if they would send one of Rust or Raquel Columbus's way. But, maybe Chinakhov, a rehab project here. Columbus sends a first-round pick to the Pens in Chinakhov for Rust or Raquel. I'd be tempted to make that move. But the big one here, one that I would probably make over Chinakhov. By the way, here, I totally mistaken that. Chinakhov, left shot, right winger, 30 games last year, had 15 points. So maybe I was thinking around his points instead of his games played. But still, though, I believe he was a third liner. One trade that I will make, though, that really intrigues me, a young guy who was once a budding superstar out west, now could use a change of scenery. Mason McTavish from the Anaheim Ducks. Frank Saravalli again saying that a change of scenery could be good for him and that there are a lot of teams interested. Some teams have tried to work on an offer sheet. For those of you who do not know what that means, McTavish right now a restricted free agent, and as a restricted free agent being dangled out there on the somewhat open market, teams can offer him a contract, and the Anaheim Ducks, they would then have the opportunity to either match the offer and re-sign McTavish or receive some sort of draft pick compensation from the team signing him. So if the Penguins, if they can, maybe I'm not signing McTavish and risking giving up a first round pick. I don't know exactly what the parameters are, how much money equals what draft pick. But if you can get McTavish for, I don't know, a third and a fifth, or I'm not going to give up a second, but maybe, if you can get McTavish or even work out a trade, a third round pick, fifth round pick, something like that, I'd take him on this team. Even though they're rebuilding, he is the type of guy that I would like to invest in a lot. Still only 22 years old, 52 points last year in 76 games. Especially if you send out a Brian Rust or Rickard Raquel, you would still need to, even in a rebuild, resupply to replace them. McTavish, at 22 years old, I think he could be that type of guy. He's a center as well, so I'm not sure if you want to keep him as a center, maybe put him on the third line, let him develop there, or put him on the wing. Either way, a young guy like that, coming off of a 52-point season, bring him over here. He could be, a solid piece for the future. Not saying a top line guy, but maybe a second line winger or center after Crosby or Malkin have gone. I'd be interested in that quite a bit. So that's really all right now. Nothing else on the Penguins has been mentioned. Nothing else probably will be mentioned until we see that a trade has been completed. But young guys are being dangled out there, and the Penguins, with some older guys, not old guys, but veterans. We'll call them veterans in the league that have had a ton of success. The Pens, they could, there's young guys out there other than draft picks that could be brought in. I would still want the draft pick first and foremost, but if you get back one of those guys as a part of the deal, I'd be quite all right with it. Okay, 6 of you in here right now. Welcome to the stream here tonight. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Going to begin the more Pittsburgh sports news segment here in a moment. Just breeze through TJ Watt's 3-year extension once again. Pittsburgh Pirates about to begin their second half of the season. As a matter of fact, Pittsburgh Sportsnet on here to my right, they are recapping the Adam Frazier trade. The Bucks in return got 28-year-old shortstop Cam Devaney, who has 18 home runs in AAA. The Bucks have optioned him there, so we will not see Devaney quite yet. But yeah, going to get back into some Pittsburgh Steeler talk here. And this one here more of a national story than it does relate to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But hey, you don't know how it's going to affect the Steelers down the road. Last night, NFL Player Association Executive Director Lloyd Howell, he resigned. A bit of an abrupt resignation from what I've seen. Apparently, he had some part-time role and private equity funds with NFL teams. But the big one here probably is that he used NFL PA funds to go to adult clubs. So that would explain that. What is up with directors, CEOs, and all that over the past couple of days? All of y'all seen that video of the astronomer CEO or something? That's crazy as hell. But yeah, Lloyd Howell is stepping down from the NFLPA. Don't know how that's going to affect the Steelers at all, if it is, but maybe at some point down the line, that story will be revisited. Now back into firm Steeler talks here. We've been talking about finding a wide receiver too for this team. Maybe. I'm not going to rule out Calvin Austin or Roman Wilson quite yet. I think they got a chance to take a big step in this offense. But Jauan Jennings of the San Francisco 49ers, he is at probably near the top of the list of, actual likely targets for the Steelers. However, doubt that is going to be the case. Today, Tom Pelissero saying that the 49ers have put Brandon Ayuk, Pittsburgh Steeler legend, that deal was at the goal line apparently, but hey, he's still out there in the Bay. Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall, we remember him last year, who got shot and came back. Glad to see that he is all right. Both of them, they are on the PUP, physically unable to perform list to start the season. So I think we can put Jauan Jennings, the possibility of him getting traded to the Steelers, on the back burner. With two of their top three wide receivers down, the 49ers, they aren't going to be moving off of anyone anytime soon. Speaking of wide receiver twos, how about once upon a time when this guy was at least being talked about as a wide receiver two, Mike Williams. We covered it on yesterday's breaking news stream for the Watt extension, but Mike Williams, Steelers legend, we will always remember that catch for the game-winning touchdown against the Washington Commanders last year. He retired at the age of 30 from the NFL after 8 seasons yesterday. Congratulations, Mike Williams, on a fantastic career. Moving into baseball here, let's talk about the Buccos for a quick second. Yesterday, Jonathan Mayo, he does work, covering prospects across the MLB for MLB Pipeline, talking about what the Pirates could do at this upcoming trade deadline. He said that Mitch Keller could get them a top 100 prospect type of bat, and that the Pirates, they could get 2 quality bats for the big leagues if they package Keller and David Bednar. So I think at this point we've talked about it. Keller, he's probably as good as gone. I believe Noah Hiles, who covers the Bucs for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, said that the Pirates, they are going to take big swings, selling off pieces, but also hopefully getting back big pieces in the trade. So we'll see how that plays out. Also, Jim Bowden, who does work writing for the MLB, said that 2 trade chips that are of interest for the Pirates. We talked about Bednar and Dennis Santana. Those 2, they are being talked about. They are being linked, I should say, to the Detroit Tigers, Chicago Cubs, and Philadelphia Phillies. Also, Brian Reynolds. He is garnering interest from the Kansas City Royals, Cincinnati Reds, and San Diego Padres. The Reynolds, I don't think he's going to get moved, but it's crazy that those teams in particular are interested in it. KC, they just got Frazier back, so they have Ben Cherington's phone on speed dial here. They'd have to offer a lot. If you're going to get if you're going to trade away Brian Reynolds, who, even though he's in the midst of a bad season, probably still a top 5 player on this team that could break out of that slump at any moment, I'd have to get something monstrous back from the Royals. Like I'm talking Jack Caglione, their top hitting prospect who just got fast-tracked to the big leagues, and maybe something else. Cincinnati Reds, you're not going to make a deal with your division, are you? Send Reynolds there. I don't see that. And Padres, they're looking for outfield help in left field more specifically, but do you want to send Reynolds out there? I don't think they have too much to offer that's like, ready to jump up to the big leagues right away. Unless it's Jackson Merrill, which we all know they're not going to do. To the comments section real quick. Jonathan Harvey, welcome back, Jonathan. May TJ use his 3-year deal cash to purchase the Pirates. Emil should do it. Oh, I would love that. I would love that. TJ, use that 3-year deal to buy the Bucks. I mean, hey, why not him and his brother go and do it? I mean, just looking at the valuation of the Pirates, I know that the Tampa Bay Rays, they are going to sell for, I believe, $1.5 billion. So the Bucks, they're probably around that market. Watt, JJ, he's made his money and he's making more off of, doing NFL on CBS. I'm sure they got maybe around a billion together, combined, the Watt brothers. Throw in Derek and his little bit as well. I don't think they would be able to buy the Bucks. I would love them to do it because anybody would be better than Bob Nutting. But fortunately, Nutting isn't going to sell, probably will never sell. And we are left to suffer through it. So thank you, Jonathan, for the comment. Wish it would happen. Fortunately, is not going to. Back to the Pirates here. Tomorrow, or really this whole weekend, it is a Yinzer-Palooza weekend for the Pirates. Tomorrow, big giveaway, Mac Miller bobblehead. On top of that, Mac Miller bobblehead, a limited edition Mac Miller Pirates t-shirt will be available exclusively at the Pirates Clubhouse store. So, Bob, he's not putting out the money on the field, but hey, he slid over a little bit of dough to make these t-shirts. However, even with the Yinzer-Palooza weekend going on, you best believe that not all will be all love and joy for the Pirates. As Irate Pirates fan on Twitter, he is one of the heads of the Sell the Team movement that sparked up earlier in the offseason and in the first half of this season. Basically posted here a couple of days ago, just in time for Yinzer-Palooza weekend, special flights are back over the skies of Pittsburgh this Friday and Saturday. So that is going on tonight. I'll go back to Twitter here in a minute. But looks like a Sell the Team banner will be flying over PNC Park once again. You love to see it. If you can't make him sell, at least take every opportunity you can to embarrass Bob Nutting. A couple other things here related to the Pirates. Former Pirate Luis Ortiz, we all remember him. He is in the middle of some interesting news, being investigated for not illegal gambling himself, but the MLB a couple weeks ago opened up an investigation on him for maybe intentionally spiking 2 pitches in the dirt that apparently or allegedly a ton of bets came in on those pitches and he missed them very, very badly. So he is under investigation for intentionally missing pitches. He is on non-disciplinary paid leave. That paid leave has been extended through August 31st. So it looks like we aren't going to get an update on whether Ortiz is, in the clear or not here for at least a little bit, but things still not looking good for Ortiz. Last thing here on the Pirates, this yesterday, after what I think was a phenomenal draft for them, they hit it out of the park. Got a lot of good pitching prospects again, which, you kind of need bats, but hey, if you're good at developing one thing, why move away from it? They got a ton of good pitchers. They also got some power bats. They continued getting good pitching prospects, at least in my opinion. Yesterday, Trayson Peters, a right-handed pitcher from the University of Western Kentucky, He signed with the Pirates as an undrafted free agent. More on Peters here. 6'7", 235 pounds. Gotta love those tall pitchers who, with their length, they can just, really get some velocity on the ball. Peters last year with Western Kentucky, a 3-0 record in 15 appearances, a 4.73 ERA. He struck out 31. However, walks were an issue for him. Walked 20. But hey, maybe 6'7" guy like that. I'm sure he throws gas. You get him into an organization that develops pitching surprisingly as well as the Pirates do. You'll take it. Last couple things here for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, two more things on the Pirates here that just came in as I was going live. We know the probable starters for this series against the White Sox. Bailey Falter here tonight. Mike Burrows and Andrew Heaney will pitch the weekend. The probable starters for next week's game against the Detroit Tigers. Paul Skeens, he will get to go against two guys that he struck out in the All-Star game, Gleyber Torres and Riley Green. He pitches Monday night. Mitch Keller on Tuesday, and then Bailey Falter, who kicks off the series tonight, will wrap up the series against the Tigers on Wednesday. Also, as if it didn't need to be said, other thing here that came across the wire as I was going live. Apparently, one team executive in the MLB has inquired with the Pirates about a trade for Paul Skeens, and according to John Heyman here, was told not happening. No surprise there at all. People are going to ask, kind of Paul Skeens, at least right now, and really it should be this for as long as he is under contract with the Pirates, put him in the same setting, treat him the same way as Sidney Crosby for the Penguins. They call, say, hell no, put the phone right back down, hang it up on him. So like to hear that the team right now, even though they are doing an absolutely pathetic effort in putting a team around Paul Skeens, they at least are keeping him here for the foreseeable future. Another thing here, ladies and gentlemen, last two things on the Penguins. Saw this post today. It's not a news post at all, but it just really boiled me up that I wanted to talk about it on here. Someone on Twitter, who was better in their prime, Joe Pavelski or Evgeny Malkin? Malkin and Pavelski getting put in the same conversation here in terms of talent and production. I agree with a lot of people saying this. Drunk, high, or both, what was this dude thinking when he typed up this post? I got their profiles here on Hockey Reference pulled up. Joe Pavelski, fantastic career. One of the best American forwards over the past decade plus, really, of the quarter century here. Not denying Joe Pavelski at all. He is a hell of a player. Probably going to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame someday. Over 1,000 career points in just over 1,300 career games. However, he is only a one-time All-Star. His best season here. Let me see here. What was his best season? Points. He had 81 points in 82 games. That was his best season. That was in 2021 and 2022 with the Dallas Stars. He scored 27 goals and 54 assists. Meanwhile, let's go over here to Evgeny Malkin. His bio: 3-time Stanley Cup champion, won the Calder Trophy for, I believe, Rookie of the Year in 2006, 2007, was an all-rookie team member in 06-07, 3-time All-Star, Conn Smythe winner, Ted Lindsay Award winner, Hart Trophy winner, 2-time Art Ross winner. Still going also, by the way, 1,346 points in 1,213 games. His best season, 08-09. Fantastic year for the Penguins. Won the Cup that year. 113 points in 82 games. Malkin, in 2 seasons, actually. Hang on here. Let me go through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then right here, 13 there, 14. So 14 out of Evgeny Malkin's 19 seasons, he has scored more points than he has played games. Meanwhile, Pavelski, in his best season, right here, was just 1 point shy of being a point per game guy. That is the most idiotic stance I've ever seen. Who was better, Pavelski or Malkin? It's not even close. It's me going into the world of baseball right now and saying who had the better career, like Clayton Kershaw, or I don't mean to disrespect a former Pirate here, or Joe Musgrove. It's not even close. I like to think that it's just rage bait because it's coming from a guy, Nikishin FC. So take that as a Carolina Hurricanes fan just trying to stir up something. But that is on one of the more idiotic things I've ever heard, along with Sidney Crosby possibly getting traded. Malkin or Pavelski? Love Pavelski, but Malkin is on a different stratosphere than him. Last thing here for the Penguins, wrapping up the week here. Wanted to talk about this yesterday, but the TJ Watt news sort of overtook everything. Top 10 goalies under the age of 25 in the NHL. The NHL came out with this list. One Penguin goalie did make the list. Yoel Blomqvist coming in just inside the top 10 at number 10. Looking here, Dustin Wolf, Spencer Knight, Yaroslav Askarov, Levi Merilainen, Jacob Fowler, who I didn't hear from, of the Montreal Canadiens, Trey Augustine as well, Jet Greaves of the Blue Jackets, Devon Levi, Jesper Wallstedt, all of those guys in front of Blomqvist. I get it, he's coming, he should be in the top 10, no arguing, but at 10, Fowler and Augustine, I'm taking that those guys are prospects for the Wings and Canadiens. I'm putting Blomqvist ahead of any guy that hasn't made the NHL yet, which Blomqvist has, and he, just had a bad team in front of him. He actually passed the eye test, in my opinion. Also, I put him ahead of Jet Greaves as well for the Blue Jackets. So, Blomqvist in the top 5, or in the top 10, I should say, of goalies under 25 years old. I think coming this time next year, you might see both young goaltenders for the Penguins in that top 10. Sergei Murashov as well. It's just a matter right now of Kyle Dubas figuring out what he wants to do at the goaltending position heading into next year, because he still got Tristan Jarry, which if he stays or if he goes, I'm cool with. If he stays, tank all the way, baby. He is going to, make sure that we get at least inside the top 5 for the draft lottery next year. And then if he goes, probably get something for him anyways, which he would have been, worthless to us. You got Arthur Solovs as well, Blomqvist and Murashov. Lots of goaltenders to look forward to watching, seeing how they perform, and if any of them are going to be a part of the future for the Bucks this upcoming season. Okay, going to take one last stroll here through good old X before we log off here for the weekend. Thank you all for joining me this weekend. Like I said, was supposed to be, honestly, a pretty mellow week. Baseball, except for the Home Run Derby and All-Star game, was off, so you weren't expecting too much news from them. Hockey is doing its thing, slow off season. And the Steelers, this was their last week empty before training camp begins on Wednesday next week. Technically, that is when they arrive, but Thursday is the first practice. But O'Neal Cruz put on a show in the Home Run Derby, like I said. Paul Skeens did well in the All-Star game, and the TJ Watt trade really came in clutch yesterday. I will tell you that. Gave us something to talk about, not just today, not just yesterday, but also today, and probably Monday through Wednesday as well. We will talk more on that. seeing here some of the pictures coming in from PNC Park Yinzer-Palooza. About as packed out as you would see Federal Street outside PNC Park this year. Unless, the Steelers, once the Steelers begin playing preseason games, then you will see them, then you will see a ton of people, more than, regular season Pirate games, show up down there. Looking here, Patriots have reached an agreement on the rookie contract for Travion Henderson, one of my top running back prospects coming out of last year's draft. Though I will say, happy as hell that we got Caleb Johnson at the end of the day. Here, seeing if there's anything else. This interesting stat here from Mark Caboli. The Pittsburgh Steelers currently have 9 players who have a cap hit this year of at least $10 million or higher. 5 of them on offense, 4 on defense. So that's, I'm going to take it, Rodgers, Metcalf. Who else is making $10 million, above $10 million on offense? Rodgers, Metcalf, Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith. Those 4. It's not one of the wide receivers. It's not one of the running backs. It's got to be Sam Alu on the offensive line. It's my guess. And then defense, TJ, Cam, Ramsey, and Queen. I think those are the 4 on defense. Hey, Bucks are spending the money. They're using it wisely, I think, with, just paying Rodgers $10 million. You're seeing if anything else here in the notifications section. Interesting quote here. Chargers edge. Tuli Tuipulotu commenting on TJ Watt's deal. We all seen TJ Watt's deal, so man, we got to get to the quarterback. Watt's contract inspiring others. Love to see it. And boy, is Micah Parsons going to reset the market here in a couple of weeks. I'll tell you that much. Watt got 41. Parsons might get 45. Interesting here. Not Pirates related, but sucks that this happened to such a good guy. The Arizona Diamondbacks have placed All-Star second baseman Ketel Marte on the restricted list. Marte requesting time off after his home was burglarized while he was gone during the All-Star break. Damn, people suck. That Ketel Marte, I feel for him. After the crap he went through, a month ago, with the fan heckling him about his mother, and now he's getting robbed. Man, that sucks. Okay, not seeing too much else here, ladies and gentlemen, so I think that is going to do it here for the weekend. For the final time, thank you once again. Fun week. TJ Watt, Steeler for life, or at least that's what we're thinking it is. I think he's going to retire before he sees the end of that deal, but good stuff there. Got to enjoy the All-Star Game festivities, both Cruz and Skeens making the Pirates proud. Hopefully now they can, inspire the rest of the team to not suck so bad, or more importantly, not inspire the general manager not to suck so bad. So we'll see how it plays out tonight. Game 1 of 3 against the Sox. Probably lose 2 out of 3 because that's just how the season is going. So with that, let's go see how they do. For the final time, thank you all for watching. Like, share, and comment on this live stream. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and turn on notifications. Also, go follow me on X and Instagram as well at the same handle, StillCitySR. Thank you all very much. See you back here on Monday for some more Pittsburgh sports news. Until then, let's go get ready. Pirates are back in action. Steelers football is back next week. Excited to cover it here on the channel. Join me back here then. Fun times ahead. See you back here on Monday. Peace.